I hate to be the one to break it to you, but we're all getting fucked. And I'm sure you're probably already aware of that, but we're getting fucked a lot harder than you know. Stick around and let me explain. So government's fucked up. They're completely bankrupt, and guess what? They're not going to pay the bill. Guess who is? You and I. So right at a time when families are all starting to struggle, governments are now sending us the bill for their irresponsible spending. You might not be aware of this, and it's because it's done very covertly. They do this in the form of inflation, and the way this works is that they print the money out of thin air to pay for their fuck-ups. You know what else we're all paying for? All of these bullshit regulations that the government's coming out with. All of the attacks on our liberties and our civil rights. So they have the masses believing that all of this inequality we're seeing is due to capitalism, when in fact, we have something much closer to socialism, or what I like to call kleptocratic socialism. They privatize the profits, yet they socialize the losses. So while you and I have to pay the consequences for bad business decisions, the governments and corporations send us the bill. How does that make you feel? It pisses me the fuck off. I think it's time we all say enough is enough. It's time for these corrupt politicians and elite ruling class to go get some real jobs. We're tired of paying for their privileged lifestyles. Are you with me? If you and I were to go print money out of thin air and pay for whatever we wanted, we would go to jail for counterfeiting for a very long time. Yet this is exactly what they do. They create the money out of thin air, and every time they put more money into circulation, our dollars lose value and we pay the price through the form of inflation. I'm sure I'm not the only one tired of these rising costs. Food costs, gas costs, energy costs, rent costs, they're all going through the roof, and it's because of these corrupt individuals. It's an exit scam. They're completely bankrupt, and the only way to keep this Ponzi scheme going is to flood the market with this cheap, easy money. Yet you and I have to give our most valuable asset, which is time, in exchange for the currency, while they just sit back and add digits to the money supply and put it into their own bank accounts. Everyone's busy talking about racism and sexism, yet the real inequality here is classism. It's this elite ruling class that has the ability to create money out of thin air, while the rest of us bust our ass for it. We need a major change. This is not sustainable. It's a double standard. While they implement more taxes to deal with climate change, they're all busy flying to Davos in their private jets to meet behind closed doors with unelected officials where they will decide the rules that apply to all of us. Let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling. And follow along for more content like this where I share ideas of ways that we can protect ourselves and move forward in a more sustainable way.